Alright, hello and welcome to the Grizzled Survivor Show. And where are we today? Just a little bit further down than where we were last time. That bridge, you can kind of see it over the creek there. And we're just kind of exploring this underpass. You can see we're far from the first people to be down here. This is actually quite a popular spot, apparently. Just getting pictures. You can see that quite a bit of people camp out down here, but they're all gone now. Probably because A, it's frigid cold, and B, it's the daytime. I think a lot of these people clear out in the daytime because they don't want to have urban explorers such as myself who like to take their pictures outside in the daytime. Now, when we go urban exploring at night, which is rare because nowadays I don't really have that great of equipment, it's more likely you'll run into people. Oh, there's a duck. See the duck? There's a big foamy mess. And down here, there's way more duck prints than people prints. Now, over on the other side there, it's a little bit harder to tell. There's a tunnel of some sort. We're not missing anything over there but a bunch of garbage. So let's stay down here. There's a bike in the water. See it? So yeah, let's go a little bit further down and you'll see there's a bunch of stuff over there, and there's a tunnel that's been opened up. Much like this one, but a bit bigger. And who knows what's in there. So where we're getting to, I think, is where we explored that big drainage tunnel that we kind of just came out of, that we went underneath the creek, and then we were there in that strange area. I know all of the areas we go to are pretty weird, but as you can see, lots of people camped out down there fairly recently. So let's cross over while we still have a good opportunity to do so. There's someone's ratty blanket. Hop across the creek. Let's go see what's over here. Ooh, a big drain. Look at that guy. Definitely need proper footgear and lights to go in there. Probably some sort of weapon to protect ourselves, considering that looks like a prime spot for both wild animals and wild people. Now, if my guess is correct, we'll be coming around to the back end of that recycling plant here, or the concrete plant that we couldn't really access. We tried on the show, but we just couldn't get there. I like this thing here. So see, I was curious as to what would happen if we crossed on the main surface street rather than the underpass. And it just connects you to the same place. But I'm glad we took the underpass because that was far more exciting. Apparently floods down there are somewhat of a problem. Let's survey our surroundings. Okay. And really, right now, we're just on a footage gathering mission. I can't guarantee we're going to find anything too exciting. But we're more on a mission to just get as much footage as possible, because there's going to be a period of time here where I don't get much of a chance to go out and do anything for a while. And so most of my video time will be restricted to just working on the basic stuff. that keeps the channel running and the actual content like Doomsday Cults. I've got a review of a Doom mod coming out, but a lot of that I think will come out before this video does, sadly enough. And so you'll just see the videos after they come out. And what kind of plant is this here? It definitely has the same sort of a look to it as a lot of these flowering plants. It seems like chamomile or something. No, it doesn't really have the smell of chamomile. So who knows what it is. There's some sort of telecom tower there. I like this tree though. I'm a big fan of weird looking trees. Don't ask me why. Actually, if you want to know more, you could probably go to the podcast. Hopefully you've listened to the podcast at this point. It should be out by the time you see this video. But if it's not, I encourage you guys to go check it out. So there's something down there in the bushes. I can't tell if it's just a shopping cart or what it is. There's some sort of... So all along this creek here's concrete factories. So it sounds like the sound I'm hearing is actually from over there. Let's go investigate this little area here. There's a trail further down, so let's go that way. Now you can see there's a trail. There's some garbage down here. I don't know how well it's showing up on the camera. The way the light is today in this wintertime, it's just very harsh. You either get great light for like 1 hour and then shitty light the rest of the time. Okay. Let's follow the trail, shall we? So it was not a shopping cart, it's an actual recycling bin. And there's people down there. So this wasn't a bunch of garbage. It's actually like the dump site for a campsite. So let's go this way, because I don't want to bother the actual living people. So let's roll out this way. Would have been a good day to bring those supplies with me, but I just wasn't planning on finding any living people. Okay. So we'll go out this way. So let's stay in this trail here for a minute. We'll see what's going on this way. We don't want to bother the people that live in the area. Although, you know, we find a lot more abandoned stuff than we do with people in it. And it's really cold out here, folks. I want to point that out. This is getting recorded early January, and it's freezing. If you were living out here, you certainly would be having a hard time. It is chilly even in the sunlight today. So there's the area we came from. There's some sort of telecommunications tower over there. So there's the trail that the people use to come in and out of there a little bit easier. So here's where we're at on the creek, and this is Clear Creek here. So you've got another campsite up here. And this campsite just kind of ends in this little gully here. How you doing? Hold on just 1 second. Alright, so that was part of the group of people that inhabit this area, and they were just checking us out to see what we're doing. Because these areas are much like an anarchist commune. They have to really police themselves. And so... But you get what you give. We were respectful. We're going to drop that supply bag off here tomorrow, right here at this pile. And so that way we can not only get rid of these supplies that I'm certainly not going to use, but these guys look like they could use a little bit of help down here. As I was explaining, it's frigid cold in the month of December here. Icy cold. And if you live in this area, certainly you're having a rough time. I mean, imagine yourself living along this creek in Colorado in the middle of damn wintertime. It's cold. So we'll come back, drop some supplies. He told me there's people living all down along here. And I'm an independent journalist, if people ask me, by the way. And then this is kind of the end of the campground area once you get back into this open terrain. But it's really funny because everyone who's ever asked me what I'm doing on my show has never been a security guard or any sort of official person. It's always like a homeless person, or, you know, it's always someone besides the authorities who ask us what we're up to. And I find that's funny, that the common person's actually more concerned about a grungy urban explorer out here than the city police are. And I guess they have more of a vested interest because this is their area. The government could give a fuck less about this area, honestly. I mean, it's open space land, so I like that concrete factory. And on the open space land, they just kind of pay to keep it open. And that's it. They don't really come out here and maintain it very well. Alright, well, we're out of the homeless area now, so we won't probably encounter anyone else asking us questions, but you never know. Also, of a humorous note, those people thought I was wielding a machete, which certainly would have been useful. But when I'm out with my camera, folks, I don't really traipse through the jungle like we're searching for Livingston. A machete causes a lot of problems if you have it on you, because if you do get caught trespassing with a machete, you're going to be in a lot more trouble than if you just got caught trespassing with a camera. And my excuse of being a freelance journalist certainly flies a bit better if I only have a camera on me rather than chucking a weapon or two around on me, you know? I studied martial arts for a long time, so I'm never too worried about myself personally. And once again, you get what you give out to people. If you're respectful and kind, chances are, come on, camera focus, you won't have any issues. But if you have an aggressive attitude, certainly you're probably going to get your ass kicked out here. So, you know, it's nice to have knowledge of how to defend yourself, but certainly not having to do so is the best thing you could possibly do. So sooner or later, we're going to hit the area we've already been to. But let's go down here. You got this little, looks like a bird, like a bee hive. And you've got this ravine full of garbage. What's in the box? Nothing's in the box. I don't think there's any live people down here. And thank God we haven't found any dead people on the show either. That would be a mess. Because as easy as it is to explain to the people living here what I'm out doing, they're pretty accepting of me being out here. if I find a dead body and I have to call the cops, that's gonna just be a mess. Not to mention, you guys wouldn't get to see it on YouTube because I would have to censor the video. Because if we have a dead body on my channel, we would definitely never have monetization ever. I'd have to go to Daily Motion. You guys would have to be watching the Grizzled Survivor channel on Daily Motion, because certainly they would just can me. But it's something I do worry about when we come into these camp areas. Am I going to find a dead person? Let's see what's around here. And just a note to the people watching this, I have not seen a single no trespassing sign. Some cool graffiti back here. This is a cool area overall. Looks like it used to be some sort of building. Now that's some sort of yard where people are actually working. But there's a hole in the fence back there. Well, let's go to this other foundation and we'll turn around. I kind of wanted to scout this area out before I poked my head through the hole in the fencing there. I'm still surprised we actually had someone stop us and ask us what we're doing. They looked rough. They looked like they were having a rough day. And I came across as nice and respectful, so this doesn't look like a foundation to a house at all. It just looks like a bunch of concrete parking dividers here. Alright, I don't like how much in the open we are here, so let's go back into the safety of the trail area, shall we? Alright. Probably the best pictures we're going to be able to get of the graffiti. And then this doesn't look like a foundation either. Once again, it looks like the... So we'll get some pictures of this for the Instagram account. Alright, let's get out of this area, guys. There's the box. That's the direction we just came from. And I think we'll probably at least go to the bridge over there before we stop. Now, going back to a second to the people that live in the area, certainly they had one of the most effective alarms you can have to prevent someone from intruding upon your home, which is a dog. As an urban explorer, it is incredibly difficult to defeat a dog. in terms of being able to sneak past it. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I would wager that it's just about impossible to do. The dog's probably going to alert to you anyway, unless you go out there numerous times, you know, wearing the same clothing, making yourself kind of smell more like part of the environment and less like a stranger. But even then, you know, I would say go out the exact same time every day, never be seen, so the dog always barks at the same time, and do that for about 2 months. And slowly but surely, the people who own the dog will start to just know the dog's going to bark at a certain time, and they will stop investigating. And then that would be my suggestion for defeating a dog as an urban explorer. So the people that live in this trailer park have, or maybe the homeless people that want to traverse that direction, have torn certain bars off of the fences, and it looks like they just use that to kind of go back and forth, which makes our life as an urban explorer a little bit easier for sure. And there's a fence across the creek there. Pentagram. Oh no. I like this right here. There's like a skull and crossbones. There's more people over there. You can see their camp from here. But we don't have easy access to that side of the creek anyway, because I don't have my waders. I wasn't lying to those guys when I said I really come out here without a lot of shit on me unless I need it. So that area right over there. So the fence only separates, well, it divides that piece of property up into several littler pieces of property. But I'm willing to bet that we're going to find out where all that goes, because the bridge is right here. So this whole section, the fence has just collapsed down there into the trailer park and kind of just destroyed everything. Looks like trees were responsible for most of the damage, because this tree here is kind of fallen. That's back the way we came. So I don't think we're actually on the Clear Creek Trail anymore, strangely enough. Perhaps we are. I like that little hidey hole, hobbit hole. Okay, so it's easy enough to get across the creek here. If we wanted to do so. Apparently it's still the Clear Creek Trail. There's a ravine. Well, let's see what's this way. They were like, where's the machete? I'm just reflecting back to my encounter with those people. I think it's funny they thought I had a machete on me. Maybe that's why they were so freaked out. Okay, you can see here another area where people camp out, albeit not in the daytime. Or perhaps where all their possessions end up when this place floods and it all gets washed down here. Looks like a road. They used to go across here. Look at. And it wouldn't be very hard to get across the creek if that's where we so chose to go. So, if we keep going that way, we're going to end up, I know we're going to end up eventually as to where we've been. There's a bunch of bicyclists up there talking and looking at me. So I'm not going to cross the creek right now because that is private property, apparently. But they look like the type of bicyclist that would certainly rat us out. Not the type that we just had an encounter with that looked like they could have cared less as to what we were doing as long as we didn't bother them. So we'll bookmark that for later. So the bicyclists are leaving. But let's see what there is to see. I'm being a little bit more cautious today because I don't really want to run into any more people. So I think it behooves us to kind of skate by the fringes here. If we see something cool, we'll swoop down on it. There's a tangle of trees down there. Now, what is that? It's a tree. That's a cool tree there. More camping areas. These look abandoned though. There's no one down there. Okay, so we're finally getting the indicator of how much time we got left in it. It's not a ton. All right. We're pretty far off of the actual trail, too. It's going to take us a minute to get back up there. Perhaps we shouldn't really progress further this way, because once we get further that direction, our chances of getting back to this main trail are pretty low. This looks like the crossing point for almost everyone that lives down that way. Oh, up the hill, up the hill, up the hill. Okay. We'll keep our eyes peeled once again for anything exciting down there. There's a tunnel. I don't know if I really want to go down in there today. Looks like some rough-ass terrain. There is a way to get down there, so we'll bookmark that. There's another camp down there. I don't think there's anyone down there, to be honest with you. I don't hear anyone. And I certainly think they would be pissed off like the last bunch was. Well, let's continue along the main path. This gives us more stuff to go explore later on. Now I hear something moving down there. Doesn't necessarily sound like a person. There's another trail that goes off down that way. Let's walk along the creek here for a minute and look at that, guys. It's just polluted. So one thing you've noticed is the further we get away from the mountains, the worse off the creek gets in terms of the condition of the water. And I'd like to get Greg to do some samples of different parts of the creek. Alright, we gotta go back this way. Okay. Let's go back the way we came. But you know what I don't see down here is more toxic waste barrels. And that is one thing we're keeping our eye out for. More glycosine phosphate, plutonium drums from Rocky Flats. Now that'd be a big find. I don't think you're going to find nuclear waste by the creek, but certainly, now this would be the type of area if we were going to find an oil drum, it would be right here along the trail where they could roll it right off real easy into the reeds here. And it would in turn kill the reeds. So what we're looking for is something like this. And now if I had a metal detector, we could see if there was some sort of drum of something buried here. But since I don't, we're out of luck. Unless we see it sticking out of the ground. Now, the reason that area is so inhabited is because, look, you can't see shit when you're on the trail. Like, oh, there's a hawk or an eagle down there. You can hear it. It's letting his presence be known. He's over here. I can't tell what tree he's in. But you can hear him. Oh, there he is. He's up in that tree right there. And it looks like it's a hawk of some sort. Maybe not. Maybe it's just a loud-ass bird. Another tent down to our right there. Actually, a fair amount of tents. Over there's like a garbage pile. And I can't tell if that's man-made. I mean, I know it's man-made. It actually looks like a little town. Like a little shanty town. You see it? And now that's actually like a town that people have set up rather than just a garbage pile that someone dumped there. I would be really impressed. Okay. So if we go that way, we're going to end up in the middle of a bunch of people's houses. So we'll go back this way. And now what's interesting about this particular group here, um, they're really not that well hidden from the roadway, which is unusual. What is this here? Well, no swimming, but no trespassing. Strange area, very quiet. Sign says beware a dog, but I don't hear a dog. I hear something moving over there, but it sounds more like a person who is trespassing more than we are, which means that there's probably no people about that are going to question why we're taking pictures. You see that by the water? Is that just a piece of concrete? We might have found a toxic waste barrel. Well, this looks like the most widely used path to the actual creek or river lake area here. So it's just a log. I'm glad we didn't waste our time to go all the way down there. Out there looks like the street. It's quiet back here. I like it. I like it. Okay, the power line's humming. So let's take a peek at where this goes before we wrap up our journey for the day. Right by a corner store. Or a school or something. Alright, let's take the scenic route down, shall we? Ooh. It's not very sturdy, guys. Hold on. I don't think this is a toxic waste barrel, guys. I think that's a trash can that someone hauled down here. You've got a tire and a piece of PVC pipe and what looked like a piece of metal, but it was totally not. You can see the homeless camps are just all over this area. You've got some piece of electronics hanging out down here. It looks like an old computer. Certainly beyond repair now. And it looks like a really old computer. Yeah, guys, it's like some sort of IBM. Check it out. It's got a floppy disk drive on the front even. Someone decided they didn't want it. They took it down here. This lake looks like a popular dump ground for people that don't want shit. What the fuck is that up there? Sorry, guys. It's not the ravine we came down. Oh yeah, it is. No, it's not. It's completely different. It's the one right next to it. It's pretty cool. All right. There's a tire. There's another tire. See what human beings do to these places? They fuck them up. Alright, guys. Well, I think this is where we're going to end our journey for the day. At least we know where we can park to begin next time's journey. Wow, it's gorgeous out here. Let's just stop and see where we're ending today before we call it a day. We are at 59th and Lowell. There's a big parking area here. Another little trail down there. Okay, cool. We'll wrap it up right here. This is an awesome little bridge area. Look at that thing. Well, that's cool as hell. So the chances of people actually living down here is a lot less because we're right by this trailhead here where a lot of people park. You've got some sort of power generator thing over there. Well, damn, this is a good spot to wrap up that episode, though, because I don't have much time left. However, I know where we're at. We can easily come back here. And so I think we should just wrap it up for the day. This is Grizzled Survivor signing off. We had more of an interesting day than I anticipated. We found a bunch of homeless camps. We got talked to by a homeless person asking what the hell we were doing there. And we found a couple more areas to add to our exploration list. So yeah, thanks for joining me. Just share this video. That's about the best I can ask for. You can check us out on social media. Instagram and Facebook. Those are all Grizzled Survivor. That's all you need to type in and it'll take you right there. And yeah, till we explore the paths less traveled. You be safe out there. Remember, be respectful to people. It'll get you a lot further in life than being a dickhead. And have yourself a great day. Happy survival.